Done and done.
Did the queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I'd never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
Pray to Kahopa, it does not.
Water flowing through this timepiece keeps its mechanism in constant motion. Well, there's the Watershapers Guild. Oh boy. Berries. Nope, not what I needed. Another stray cat.
Oh?
Give me the cat. Jewels. +1 perception.
I shall.
The sea is true home. That smelly mountain.
Hello, worthless idiot.
What you want?
The imp recoils from you with a sharp hiss. What are you doing out here?
Archimere doesn't let worthless idiot outside after worthless idiot sprayed dung on stupid tablet. But Archimere not home.
A mischievous grin splits the imp's bony features.
So worthless idiot watches the ships come in, looks at all the tasty gulls.
It sighs down at the vista of ocean and docks. Your name is Worthless Idiot?
Those Archimere's big words. Gave name, but worthless idiot no understand.
Worthless Idiot wriggles a finger in its ear. I'm pretty sure he meant it as an insult.
That's so? Worthless idiot should ask Stinkfoot or Catbreath what they say.
You want to set sail and eat gulls? You're welcome aboard the Defiant. The imp takes in your words, its eyes widening to the size of moist saucers. A flap of its wings carries it closer to whisper in your ear.
How often you beat your crew, huh?
It doesn't whisper at all, and the question sends a ringing through your ears. Ouch! Only when they're noisy.
Worthless idiot knows when to shut worthless mouth. I join crew? I join crew!
The imp flutters in an excited little circle. It points down at the distant shape of Queen's Berth and salivates at the sight of gulls landing on the rigging of the Defiant. Very refreshing, my laptop.
Tekehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
A guildmaster in fine robes stares down the sizable blue-skinned Amoa before her. Students observe the exchange in a loose circle, exchanging whispers.
Guildmaster, be reasonable.
He tosses his anemone-like hair, which glows faintly as each bulbous strand settles in place.
I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
He crosses his arms and raises one eyebrow. The murmurs of the crowd grow in volume.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
She pacifies her tone, suddenly conscious of the onlookers. This sounds important, or controversial, or both.
Akira, it's always both where this one is concerned.
She nods towards Tekehu.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
Despite of their obvious age difference, Tekehu raises an instructive finger to the guildmaster. She flares her nostrils and takes a deep breath. Aloth massages his temples, shaking his head.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
I've heard of Ngati's chosen, but I don't come across your type often.
You see, Myru? Finally, one who appreciates my birthright.
Aloth massages his temples, shaking his head.
For a Watershaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
The guildmaster sidesteps Tekehu and takes long strides away from the circle. Sparing another glance at Tekehu, the crowd disperses.
Ugh, insufferable.
Tekehu sighs, smooths back his hair. He turns his attention to you with a raised brow.
Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection?
Tekehu grins and opens a palm, inviting you to speak. I take it you and the Guildmaster don't get along.
Kira, I bring art to the Guild of Watershapers, but they do not tolerate expression here. What I am is to blame, I say.
Ngati's chosen.
Kira, the locals revere anything to do with the sea. Water shaping is Ngati's gift to the Huana, and apparently I am too. Savior to the tribes.
He folds his arms and grimaces. Aloth massages his temples, shaking his head. Wow, Aloth really doesn't like this guy. So push back a little. Test your boundaries.
The only question is, do I return to my duties, or while away a few hours in the bathhouse?
Tekehu tugs on his hair and purses his lips. Aloth massages his temples, shaking his head. The bathhouse. Definitely the bathhouse. Sorry, Aloth.
The waters are fine, I say. Finer still with company.
His grin widens even further as he appraises you. Aloth massages his temples, shaking his head. Sighing to himself, Tekehu scans you up and down. He casually clears his throat and glances away. Wait, I didn't mean...
Take no offense.
He raises a palm.
Time alone is never wasted, I say.
I could use a ratty fish like you on the Defiant, if you'll have a watcher at the helm.
A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Periki's Overlook.
He rests a hand on his hip and grins.
What does a watcher do?
I watch. Mostly the dead.
Ikera. Just so.
He strokes his chin, nodding.
I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist.
He stirs his fingers through the air, drawing together droplets of moisture into an orb of water that floats over his palm.
My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy, to brew ink and sort parchment.
He lets the orb fall to the ground and splash at his feet. If your abilities can drown our enemies, you can call it whatever you like.
Will we do much fighting, then? Kara, a pity.
Tekehu scratches the back of his head.
You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears. And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him.
Tekehu raises one of his brows.
What will you do when you catch up to this walking god?
I'm not sure yet. Any ideas? He nods, touching his lower lip as he weighs the matter with care.
I would command the ocean herself to drag him to the bottom of a lightless trench.
Tekehu shrugs. That sounds perfect.
If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship.
Tekehu inclines his head and touches a circular marking on his brow.
Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
He winks. I'm sorry, Tekehu. Adair is already our figurehead. What a beautiful man.
Always worth suspecting the captain be drawn to the blue and the beautiful. Welcome aboard, lad.
Seraphim bows. Before we go, I ought to mention that the prince told me to seek you out.
I had not expected the prince to respond so quickly. Serpent's crown is under pressure, I say. And what exactly did Prince Aruihi tell you?
Tekehu crosses his arms and levels out his expression. To track down the black market among the Roparu.
Black market? But this has nothing to do with my problem. Unless the prince did not mention anything about water shapers?
Tekehu frowns.
I had thought the guild would be his first concern. It seems I was wrong.
And why is that?
Because of what I told him in confidence.
And what was that?
Let us speak of this somewhere else. One can never tell who is listening. To the gullet, then.
Frowning, Tekehu glances back at the guild entrance. I will consider it.
Well, consider away.
Tekehu shrugs. Water shaping sounds like a prestigious talent.
Well, through our connection to the gods, the Huana mold water like it is clay, easing it into an assumed form.
Grinning, Tekehu adjusts his posture to assume a flowing, almost weightless stance.
We could sink every ship in Rawatai's fleet if they drew too close to the city. But some of us have gentler tastes.
He sighs and stands once more at ease.
Some of us see water shaping for what it is. A gift of divine expression.
So you're a water shaper?
Surely you have seen my works across Neketaka.
Tekehu knits his brow with immediate concern.
Look to the antechamber of the Kahanga Palace for my Apple of Ngati, or to the luminous bathhouse for my Dance of the Wanton Priestess.
He folds his arms and nods toward the door. Hands on his hip, Seraphim grins.
For as long as there have been Huana, there have been water shapers. But only since Tekehu has water shaping been art.
Alop gives you a pained look. Let's be off.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion.
Tekehu tosses his hair and sighs contentedly. Good for you. I'm happy you're so special.
I say you will learn. In time.
He winks, his eyes suddenly as dark as beads of polished onyx. Okay, he can be a druid. Oh boy. Or a chanter. I'll make him a chanter. Chants. When you have a chanter selected, clicking on the scribey icon on their heart hotbar will allow you to create chants. Chants are the battle songs chanters use to strengthen their friends and diminish their foes. Clicking on a chant will show the phrases it uses. Phrases selected on the left panel will be added to the selected chant. To remove a phrase, just click on the phrase in the selected chant. An active chant will automatically play through each phrase in order and loop back to the beginning when it reaches the end. Okay.
As you like.
Her eyes... Oh wait. Where's the start? Pitied is Ngati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view. Her eyes well with tears as constant as rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues apace. The lover's affection is ephemeral as fingers touching. I don't know if I read that in the right order. It's all theft. Oh, this one's not. This. Oh well. Daraku's reply. Myru, for what did you send me away to meditate on the fourth form in uncharted waters, only to summon me back to the Kahanga fleet? A bomb must have gone off in Serpent's Crown, on a revelation if not black powder. The interruption is a setback. I trust that whatever happens next will propel our people forward. I will sail Periki's resolve into the waters where I suspect you need me most and await your orders. I hope that the rumors carried upon the waves are to be trusted. I would tell you to send Onekaza my love, but she knows that it is hers. Tell her that she needs only snap her fingers, and I will be her storm again. Daraku, Master Watershaper. This ornate basin makes a high-pitched ringing sound when pressure is applied around the outer rim. Like a wine glass? Oh, it's Guildmaster Myru.
You have questions for me? Speak up, I say.
Guildmaster Myru folds her arms and nods. Tell me about the guild.
Ikira, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Huana by the goddess Ngati. Periki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know?
Where do the Watershapers get their power?
Our art is the yield of the Huana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise.
What do Watershapers do exactly?
We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay. Lately, we have experienced an artistic revival of sorts, thanks to our star pupil, Tekehu. We represent the best of Huana achievement, no small responsibility.
Tekehu is quite the, Back to my other questions.
Ikira, speak freely.
I didn't actually have any other questions. Farewell. A young Huana holds out his hands as if to catch an incoming missile. He winces in concentration and an orb of water rises and floats mid-air. Sweat drips down his nose. He flinches, and in that instant the water loses all shape and splashes on the floor. Crestfallen, he sighs and drops his stance.
Did you need something?
He nods to you and shakes out his arms, readying himself for another try. You seem to be having trouble. Maybe it's you who needs something.
I can feel the connection to Andre just like Myru taught me. But there's something missing. Maybe it's my form.
Lie. Remember to hold your breath and keep your knees together.
Really? That isn't how the Guildmaster taught it.
His brow creases with uncertainty.
That's okay. Persistence is everything, right?
He shrugs. It's not everything. But it helps.
Dim in the lantern.
Watershaper's robe. Light armor. Oh boy, oh boy. Ilmarin's got some new armor. Gonna look like. Sexy. Where is this? What's going on? Guild ruins. I feel like this is another dungeon I'm not prepared for.
Ain't city's got regulations against this sort of place? No?
This stone door is sealed shut. A few engraved symbols stand out among the other carvings and inscriptions. Apart from that, you find no evident means of opening the way. A faded inscription is nestled among the elaborate stone carvings. Search for a locking mechanism. Read the inscription. Huana runes decorate the stone entrance. Ngati would not have gifted her chosen people a watery covenant unless they persisted in deserving it. This sanctum is a covenant of our making. Only the sigil of the covenant and the words of my devotion will open the way. Periki, master of the guild. Search for a locking mechanism. As you search among the door's ancient carvings, you come upon a stone panel that seems to protect an internal mechanism. The panel remains fixed and unmoving. Push against the door. The door stands resolutely shut. No amount of brute pressure will influence that one way or another. Leave. Bye-bye. Oh? You're friendly? Okay. That's good.
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, eye cap.
What do you want, I guess?
Ahoy.
Ahoy? They're all looking at it. I don't think I'm gonna get away with it.
Keep your
Nope.
weather eye.
No. No, I don't.
What for, Cap? A light's foot and an heavy bullet, eye cap.
What say, friend? The guild's sanctum has seen better days.
The young Watershaper leans on his broom and smiles at you. What do you do here?
Simply a caretaker. I dust off Periki's tomb and try to keep the place tidy. Caring for the guild hall usually means drying off what others get wet in practice.
Tekenu shakes his head with a weary smile. Are you a Watershaper?
Akira. One of middling skill, if I am generous. Not all of us can boast of Tekehu's talent. But Ngati touches us differently, I say. The guild didn't used to allow outsiders the freedom of our halls. Akira. But how times change.
What's behind that stone door by the staircase?
A sanctum for master watershapers, I say. No students or outsiders allowed. I have never been there myself. Myru assures me the room has no need of cleaning.
He shrugs, smiling.
Aye.
This statue depicts an Amoa woman, her hand extended and grasping at the air. An eroded plaque sits by her feet. Something about the statue calls out to you, the echo of a fractured soul that tarried in this place for long and thoughtful years. You feel victory tinged by grief and regret. Attempt to read the plaque. The words are much eroded and water damaged, but a few choice snippets of phrases stand out with clarity. Periki, lore and hunter, crossed the length of and back again. Bird for cunning, deal, Lafis, may her rest, guilty soul, Edom. Periki. Periki was an explorer and founder of the Watershapers Guild. Many of the modern teachings of watershaping stem from her research into ancient Huana society, which led to her posthumous renown and the subsequent naming of her home district in Neketaka as Periki's Overlook. Closer scrutiny reveals that the inscription was purposefully marred, as an act of sabotage done perhaps years ago. By the thoroughness, you suspect Kith hands. Nothing else about the plaque stands out as remarkable. Inspect the lingering soul. Your vision bobs with the motion of the sea. You stand aboard the deck of Swiftwinds, where your mates share bemused, self-congratulatory glances as they work. One of them claps your back with approval. You step back and aim a reproachful look at your mate, however friendly his intent. You know there will be a time for reprieve when you are squared away in Neketaka. Something cuts through the water to your port side, an enormous shape just beneath the waves. Someone shouts the winds have turned in your favor at last. This is followed by an enthusiastic cheer among the crew. You don't share their mirth. Eyes to the horizon, I say! You bring home a mighty gift, though it takes an unusual form, one that you pray to Ngati you are able to keep in check. The vision dissipates and your land legs reassert themselves. Hold her hand. You grasp her hand with tenderness. At first, nothing happens. But then, a tiny droplet of water forms at the corner of her eyes and rolls down her cheeks, dripping on the floor. Wipe away the tear. You reach and draw your thumb down the statue's cheek, wiping away the trail of moisture. For a moment, the stone feels soft to the touch. Okay. Did that accomplish anything?
What say, friend? The guild's sanctum has seen better days.
The inscription by Periki's tomb has been defaced.
Water damage, I thought.
Tekewho scratches the back of his head.
I say it's been that way since I got here, but I cannot recall if the former steward ever mentioned it.
He shrugs, smiling. Uh-huh. Why is this place so big? Ooh, that looks good.
I shall make it.
It's too long. I'm not gonna read that.
What have we here?
Ooh, boy. What do we have here? Hey.
Fine.
Did I loot it? No. Where is it? There it is. Punch the door.
Once a stranger, I say.
Alright. Guess we're leaving. Locked doors everywhere. Can I go up here? Oh yeah, I think that's where I got a bounty. No. This looks similar.
You had no right to interfere in Rawatai's business.
Hawana culture isn't business, you company drudge.
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less.
The Al-Mawa woman clutches her fists at her sides. Her severe features are caught in an unshakable grimace.
If this is what passes for Rawutai in diplomacy, your Hazanui has bigger problems.
The more calm and composed Hawana smiles, turning when she notices you.
If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
Did you say wizard business?
Arkemir could be drinking Koiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found.
What did you want with Arkemir? Who's Arkemir? Arkemir is an archmage of worldwide renown. The spells bearing his name focus largely on illusion and pain, qualities that he prizes in his personal life and teaching philosophy. Over the years, he has fostered dozens of students, but none have graduated from their apprenticeship to Archemir's satisfaction, opting instead to leave his service in bitterness and resentment over the Archmage's notoriously unfair treatment. He lives in Neketaka at Periki's Outlook, where he operates a local magic shop, the Dark Cupboard.
The wizard got his hands on a Hawana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rawatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
She gestures to Nekehu.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both.
An intact primary source is a rare find for the Huana.
Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
Wait, is there another reason you both want the tablet so badly? The pair go silent and awkwardly avoid eye contact, focusing in different directions.
There are things better left unsaid.
While I'm standing here, you mean?
Akira, I don't deny it.
So what's your plan?
I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Nekehu blinks at her in shock and takes a moment to smooth down the creases in her uniform.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
I have questions for Nekehu before you go.
For me? I could use a reprieve.
Nekehu watches Tamara skulk away, turning back to you only when she's gone, and lets out a heavy sigh.
These are frustrating times we live in. What say?
Nekehu opens her palms, inviting you to speak. Any ideas on retrieving the Harapo epic?
There's always Fasina, Arkemir's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true.
Nekehu shrugs.
Arkemir seems to enrage those of his inner circle, not excluding the imps.
I had questions about the tablet.
Akira, I say the relevance of the Harapo epic can't be overstated. It could prove a touchstone for the Huana. It could even... Sorry, you go ahead.
Did you know about the epic before it fell into Arkemir's hand?
Akira, from the Journal of Rakua, an explorer who found the tablet on a remote island some 20 years ago. Unfortunately for Rakua, the most we found of her was her journal among the flotsam of a shipwreck.
Why is the Royal Deadfire Company so interested in this tablet?
They think the tablet can show them...
Nekehu stops herself, weighing her words with care.
The way to Ukaizo.
She sighs and regards you with unease. Ukaizo is a mythical island rumored to be somewhere in the Deadfire archipelago. Some legends regard Ukaizo as the wellspring of Huana culture. Others tell of riches beyond measure. I'll agree that Ukaizo vanished after cataclysmic storms and volcanic eruptions blotted out the horizon. But it remains to be seen if these tales possess an echo of merit or simply romanticize an ancient fantasy.
Akira, it's a mythical island, but that isn't stopping any of us from rushing to claim it first.
What could the epic tell you about the Huana?
The story could speak to the values and beliefs of our ancestors. The language structure, narrative voice, and use of metaphor can tell us something about the time of its inscription.
She touches her bottom lip and glances off to the distance.
We could even... I've lost you, haven't I? Akira, I tend to go on.
I think I already understand, but why is this tablet so important to you?
It is important to all who call the Deadfire home. I only tell you this because I know you can be trusted.
Oh yes, I can be trusted very well.
The epic is supposed to contain information on Ukaizo.
So you've said?
Nothing as dramatic as a set of coordinates, but anything helps. Stories are also important to the Huana. Much of who we are is still missing.
Oh, well, that's all I wanted to know.
Akira, the pleasure is mine.
Farewell. More locks I can't pick. Is it just because it's nighttime? Is that why? Nope. I should add that to my notes. Lock to pick, Furies, Outlook, West, Panic. I think it was 8.